Hello. So today I have a tiny shell challenge. It's by lilsimsie, and I had a lot of fun making it. So basically, I decided that I didn't want to just do another tiny house. So I decided that I was going to do kind of like a florist, because basically I saw it and I was like, it kind of looks a bit like a shop front. And then, I don't know, it was such a weird shape that I was like, what do I do? So I ended up deciding to turn it into a florist, and then I kind of added like a bedroom onto that second story. So it's just for like 1 or 2 Sims. You could squeeze 2. I was kind of thinking 1, and yeah. So I gave it those windows from Cats and Dogs that are basically just like open, because I've never used them before. And while I don't think it's that realistic, in the game, it doesn't affect anything, and I thought they were cute. And I feel like the only place you'd really have them is on like a porch, but I put them upstairs in the bedroom because I thought they looked nice. And as per usual, I didn't add curtains. I just don't like curtains. I just think I don't know, I just think they clip through everything. I do add them sometimes, but most of the time they just get in my way, and especially in something like a tiny build where it's like everything's as tightly squeezed in as possible. I don't really have room to like edge stuff away so that they're not clipping into curtains and whatnot. Yeah, so I really like this one. It's really cute. I'm having a lot of fun making tiny houses. I'm very in love with the Tiny Living stuff pack. I actually think it might be my favourite stuff pack. Up till now it was laundry days, and not because I love laundry, but because obviously the stuff was really good that's in laundry days. But now I think my favourite has to be Tiny Living, because I am using it so frequently. And also, if you're wondering why I'm like looking really far over, I tried to put my laptop so that I would be able to look at the webcam easier this time, because I've basically got my PC monitors like here in front, like down here, which is where I play, and I end up looking kind of like this because I have to put my webcam on the shelf because of the way this desk is laid out. It's a nightmare. I have thought of a solution, but I haven't tried it yet. But I was editing on my laptop because my boyfriend came and visited me as a surprise, and he was playing Apex Legends on my PC, so I was like, well, I might as well edit my video, and I've got a laptop from before I got my PC, so I just edited my like footage on my laptop. But it means obviously it's all on my laptop and I couldn't be bothered to move it over to my computer, so my laptop's up there, and I'm hoping it makes it a bit easier, but I'm not so sure it is. I originally was like, oh, let's go for a pinky kind of theme, but I think it ends up being a bit like blue. I've got a real thing for the pastel blue wallpaper at the moment, and also the pastel green one. I don't know why. I feel like the blue one's actually nice. The green one's a bit ugly, but I just like them a lot. I put a flower arranging table in. I was originally going to get my Sims to craft all the flowers, but then I remembered the gallery exists, and the gallery is an amazing place because people upload stuff like the debug items in categories, like Simsie did that. So I thought, okay, I'll search flower arranging, or arrangement I think I searched, and there was 2 people who had uploaded all the flower arrangements, and it was really useful. I can't remember their usernames, but if you just type in flower arrangement if you need any, then there you go. I think I cut out most of my playtesting for this one because there wasn't too much. It was just me trying to figure out the floor plan, because as I said, I kept the top as like the living area and the bottom as like the florist, but I did have to make some little compromises with that. So for instance, the Sim who's living upstairs doesn't have a toilet upstairs. There's only the toilet that's downstairs in the florist. And then I put a shower upstairs, and it is in front of that massive window. But I thought, Sims don't know how to look through windows. And yes, you could put a blind there, and I did think about it. But as I said, I've just got this weird hate against curtains and blinds. I do like blinds in The Sims, but I don't know, I just don't like how they obstruct the view of the really nice windows. So as per usual, I didn't put any in. So you're welcome to go in and add those. I feel like everyone's got like little weird building habits in The Sims. Like a lot of people don't use high chairs. I am also one of those. I sometimes put them in my builds, but like I just don't really use them when I play, so it's one of those things I often forget. Most people I feel like forget bins or mailboxes, usually bins. And then me, I just don't like curtains. I just don't think they look that good in most houses. And I definitely didn't want them downstairs because I wanted it to be like a big open view floristry kind of thing. It is a tiny home. It is very squished, as you will see, but your sim can navigate around it all. I did test it all. There's a sink and a toilet downstairs. There's a sink upstairs for the little kitchenette bit, and then there's also a shower upstairs that I put behind the university divider in that little corner. But that's about all I could manage upstairs. The Murphy bed works because I put that in so that she could have a sofa, because I imagined a female sim, but I mean anyone can live here, honestly. I put a little table, like a coffee table with a TV on. I managed to squeeze in that dining chair and table. That one was a little bit of a mission. I had to like play test that quite a bit. It does end up being over by where it just was, basically by the shower. It works well there. I end up putting in the little like fluffy puff thing, you know, the knitted thing really should be a seat, but it's actually a table. I just want it to be both. So that goes in. I put that next to the bed. I did later on try and put a wall in. I'm not sure if I filmed it, because the problem is obviously Sims will be able to go upstairs, and I don't really like that, but it just didn't work for putting a wall in, and it really cut off the space, and it looked weird having a wall there because of the what do you call it, the fencing, the railings around the stairs, so it looked weird to have a wall there, and then it just didn't really fit downstairs. It just looked messy, and then it just ruined kind of like how I had it, because I've got the flower table next to the stairs downstairs, and then I've got the railing upstairs, so it just didn't look right. So I guess you're just gonna have to make do, honestly, but I don't think it's that bad. And again, if you were playing in it and it really bothered you that Sims kept going upstairs, then there's obviously always the option to like add a wall in. It's not impossible, like it's easy enough to do, it just doesn't look the best. But yeah, I just made do with what I could. I can't remember, I don't think in the end I had to downsize the sink. I think I managed to scoot the toilet along like where the door comes in, and then I managed to like scoot the toilet as close to the wall as I could, and then it made it functional so that the sim could get past and use the sink. So there's a nice mirror, there's a sink, there's another mirror actually. I put a hanging wall one. I put loads of flower arrangements in, thanks to whoever it was on the gallery that uploaded all of those, so I didn't have to make them all with my Sims. I also add some of the just like deco plants. I think I set it as a retail lot. I did originally want to make like a cafe and like a greenhouse kind of thing at the back, but then I read the rules, and because it's a tiny house challenge, one of the rules was actually not to add any exterior buildings, whereas usually on the shell challenges you're allowed to add exterior buildings to make it, like, as long as they're not attached to the shell. But I couldn't do it this time, so I ended up doing a cafe, but I did it as like an outdoor cafe, so I kind of imagine that this is somewhere that's mostly sunny. But actually, to be honest, where I live at home when I'm not in Edinburgh, there's a lot of like outdoorsy places, or like when most of the seating area is outdoors, and we don't have like the best weather, so I don't think it's that unusual. I think it does make sense. So basically I put like a barista, you'll see in a little while, barista thingy, what do you call it, bar outside, and then I make a little seating area. I put a little pond made with a swimming pool, put some nice trees, I put an arch in, so technically you could get married, but that's not what it's for. I was just using it as a nice doorway because I originally put in gates, but I decided I wanted a nice arch. And then I had like that weird bit where the two columns are and I didn't know what to put under there, so I just put like some like vines, I think, and then a bench and then a fountain next to it because I thought it might be a nice area. You know when you go to like cafes or restaurants and they have like neon signs or like flower walls, basically places that make like perfect Instagram picture material so that people like hashtag their restaurants and like location tag it, and yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So it was like a nice little idea to have that kind of space as a little area where people can just like chill out and sit. I did think about putting like an ice cream bit there, but it looked a bit weird because the way that ice cream works in The Sims is it's just that ice cream maker, isn't it? So it had to go on like a counter. Whereas if it had been like a, you know, like a trolley of ice cream, I might have put that there, but it just didn't look nice. But you should see me trying to figure that one out in a bit. Yeah, so this is where I try and figure out where the barista, what's it called? The espresso bar, I think it's called, lives. I just had no idea. I make a little veranda. I hope that doesn't technically count as cheating. I don't think it does because it's not like usable as a room. And it originally adds tiles, but because I delete the flooring, it doesn't add anything. And I don't think it would count as cheating because, again, it doesn't add any floor space. And I do cheat a little bit at the front. But again, I don't think it's cheating because I just use it as a wall. I use a wall as a roof, basically. So I don't think it's because I don't make any more usable space. It's just I'm making it be like a little square roof instead of like an actual roof because I wanted to add some flowers in there. This does share some similarities with the other shell build I did, which I haven't filmed or uploaded yet. Well, I filmed it, but I haven't like done the voiceover or uploaded. I think it should be up a couple of builds after this, probably. I've got a not so berry one to post soon, so, and then it'll probably be after that because I finally built my not so berry one. Although that one's not that fab because I ran out of money and I didn't want to cheat more money, so we made do with what we had. It's a bit there, but it's a nice house, I think. I tried to fit it in with the vibe of like Brindleton Bay because I did move her and Rosie to a different lot, but I kept them in Brindleton Bay because I just didn't really like the other ones as much, so I kept them there. I thought it was a nice vibe for them. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I ran out of money on that. But anyway, so basically for the other shell challenge that lilsimsie did, because I love a shell challenge, and I really wanted to do Evelyn's one, but I missed it. But I'm probably going to do it anyway, because I'm not very good at like coming up with like not even floor plans, but like just the outside of houses. So it's really good for me when there's a shell and then I can just kind of figure out the floor plan from there because it's like one less job to do. But I did the other one that she just uploaded on her channel of tours, and I did like a sorority house, and for that I did like a little veranda, I think, and I might not have actually. I've just got a thing about like verandas. I think that's what they're called. You know, the little like nice bit with like green area on, like greenery. I did have one of those benches in there, and what else did I put in there? I don't know. There was something else that I was like, oh, I think I used like similar. I don't know. It was just kind of like quite a similar vibe. I use that brick a lot as well in a lot of my builds. I really like it. I think it's like my favourite thing from the vampire pack because I just use it all the time. But yeah, I think I used that in my not so berry house too. So sorry about that. I need to like start branching out a bit. I need to stop using all the furniture that's in Tiny Living as well because I just haven't stopped using it since that pack came out. Like I'm obsessed with it. I just really love it. But yeah, it does have kind of the same vibe as that other building, but obviously sorority house and a tiny house, very different. So, and this is a florist, so there are enough differences between them, I think. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to, I think I need to push myself out of my comfort zone a bit more, like when I did that boho, I don't know how to say that word, apartment. I really liked how that turned out in the end, and it was really bold colours that were not usually what I would use. There's a lot of swatches and like beds and sofas that I feel like I should use, but I haven't got around to using them. There's one in particular, well, it's not one in particular, but it's basically all the non-plain swatches for the, what bed is it? I think it's the cats and dogs bed, or maybe the seasons bed, or maybe both, honestly. I think both, because I think the seasons one's got some like weird muted kind of colours, but they're like colours you don't usually use, and then I think the cats and dogs one has got some like quite a lot of patterns and things that I don't really use. And I did manage to get a couple of them in the sorority house, but I was trying to keep to like this pink, white and blue. That's another thing, I keep using pink and blue. I think that's what these two have in common as well. I used a lot of pink and blue in the sorority, and I've used a lot of pink and blue in this one. So I mean, we're trying to make it work. I mean, it's nice. I do like it. I think I've just got a thing with pink and blue at the moment. I'll probably get over it. I did go for a phase where I was really into like neutrals and that's all I was building with. It's just hard to push yourself into using the really bright colours, I think. Like, I think a lot of the really bright swatches or like out there swatches, it's hard to match to anything because obviously we don't have a lot of matching swatches. And so you either end up using stuff from the same pack that's deliberately got the same swatches. So therefore you just end up being like, here's a build made with only cats and dogs. Or you just like have a big mismatched house because you're like not sure what to put. I don't know. I've got to figure it out, but we're getting there, hopefully. Maybe. I hope. I'm praying. Yeah, so I am going to challenge myself to branch out a bit more. I'm kind of stressed at the moment because I've got like loads to film, but I'll probably complain about that in my next video because this is almost wrapped up and I've barely spoken about the build as per usual. But I don't know, this is like the first of probably like four videos, like voiceovers I'm going to film today. So my boyfriend's gone to the library so I can do it because I feel really awkward recording around him. And I'm disorganised and I'm going home on Thursday and I've got loads to film for and loads of uni work to finish and I'm just trying to avoid thinking about it, but I'm so stressed. So, I mean, someone send me good luck because I am just a nightmare at the moment. Is anyone else like that? Just a massive procrastinator and then all in one go. But anyway, this build's finishing, so I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.